to lose a run back of the same set of champions. But here, once again, the Camille on the top side, they use their Shen support to get up there, change it around. JJ even flashes after he taunts to land the CC, allow Flame to finish off the kill. And then bottom side, they make a simultaneous play on the bottom side to get another victory.
And the reason is that Keen didn't back and Ryu did. Ryu was still running back from his mid lane that he didn't have pressure in. And that's the big difference, is the priority in lanes.
It's so rare that we see successful plays on opposite side of the map pulled off by the same team at the same time.
Yeah.
But FlyQuest have done that. Now, 100 Thieves trying to get back out onto the map to answer, and they will pick up the Scuttle Trap at least.
The Rift Herald, for the first time this series, gentlemen, does not cost a life.
The mutated Scuttle Crab.
I'm glad I'm not the only person who, for some reason, accidentally thinks Scuttle Crab when you see a Rift Herald.
Well, if you actually know the history of Rift
Are you about
Herald,
to give me a lore
I
lesson?
am.
Yeah.
If it's actually a mutated Scuttle Crab and this is some Spider-Man stuff where he got bit by a radioactive bug.
It is one of the Scuttle Crabs that got too close to Baron Pit, and Baron's evil magic corrupted the Scuttle Crab, turned it into Rift Herald. There you go.
There are literally
void
Scuttle
thing.
Crabs scurrying by Baron Pit every single game.
Baron Pit's got like a window to the void in it.
And none of the other Scuttle Crabs wander in there?
I just like to think of it like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
But
Teenage Mutant
it's
Ninja
one.
Crabs. That's what it is.
Got Michelangelo, Donatello, and Harold.
Jelly!
All right, that's the DLC character for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as Keen will push up the mid lane here. FlyQuest with such a phenomenal early performance so far, up over 2,000 gold compared to their opponents. Santorin 2-0-1 here on the Trundle, contributing across the map. Look at Wild Turtle as well. Trinity Force completed on the Ezreal, sitting in a good spot for himself, as Flame will knock down the tier 1.
And that's where he's going to get this large influx of gold, because the 2 kills that have happened in that lane have not gone to him. Even when JJ ganked, that one went to the Shed. So that 600 gold solely onto him, that bonus gold onto Flame, is going to be a big difference.
And it was just a small difference between him getting that or 100 Thieves getting it first. Cody, Sun, and Afro do take the tier 1 in the bottom side, but just ever so slightly slower, as Someday is zoned away from the tier 2 in top. Flame and Santorin say, all right, we'll just go after this. Santorin does end up drawing turret aggro, so has to back himself away from that one, but the push continues, the split push strategy that we just cannot stop hitting on because it's so paramount to the outcome of this game.
Well, the next thing to look to down the line here for that split push strategy is the Trinity Force completion. Just got it there for Flame. Level 11, 15 and a half minutes into the game. He's already got Trinity Force, Tiamat, and level 11. This is a very, very good course for FlyQuest to be on, and it is up to 100 Thieves now to try and make that change in the course. They're switching up topside. They want to get some of the gold back for themselves out of the turret.
Yeah, Someday's going to have to back soon. He's got 1,500 gold on him. If he ever goes up against the Camille in the next few minutes, it's going to be something where he just gets slaughtered. And we can see Flame has already made the rotation bottom to threaten this turret. And if FlyQuest are playing the 1-3-1 appropriately, they don't look for engages. They play it safe, and they just let him beat down this turret.
As their coach said in the interview at the beginning of the game, do not give 100 Thieves what they want. Do not group up for their 5 versus 5. They continue to split the map. Flame here is going to take down the bottom turret while Rift Herald has been used in mid lane. Shelly's going to get the charge off.
Shelly plus 4 members of 100 Thieves means that turret is gone, 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 as FlyQuest will just take down Shelly now, make sure she doesn't get off a second charge against the tier 2. That's 100 Thieves tying up the turret count this game. Still going to keep themselves down about 3,000 gold, though, as Someday clears up in the bottom lane, just doing janitorial duty against Flame's Camille.
Yeah, and he hasn't spent his gold yet either. He's sitting on almost 2,000. He's at 1,800 right now. This is like the time where you want to keep pressure on him, keep him underneath his turret, and potentially, because like if you look at the inventory value, that's 59 or 5,900 gold spent by Flame, whereas Someday has only spent about 3,700.
Yeah, it's a pretty big difference overall when you actually compare what's given these guys stats. And if both of them decide to get involved in a fight, well, one guy's going to be a wrecking ball and the other guy is going to be a yarn ball.
Well, Someday's duty as the yarn ball is just to sit at the turret and keep the minions, keep him off the turret from taking down any more objectives. He cannot look for these fights.
No.
Whether he goes back and purchases or not, he doesn't want to fight either way.
Flame walked up there. I feel like he maybe could have gone for the Tiamat interrupt active. But
Someday did not flinch.
Nope.
Let it be known on the playground.
Someday is not going to lose in a game of chicken. He'll get himself back to the base. He will finally pick up the Righteous Glory. Has the stopwatch in the inventory now as well, just in case FlyQuest tries to make a crazy dive onto him.
Mountain Drake about to come up too, and in a split push composition, double Mountain Drake is perfect. It allows you to kill those turrets faster, and then even threaten Barons when you have a collapse after a team fight, or you pick somebody off in the side lane.
Feels good, man. If you're FlyQuest, let's see if they can grab it. No contest. Shouldn't really be that big of a deal. I don't think 100 Thieves is too concerned about losing this right now, considering the state of the game. They will not be. You can see Anda coming up from the side there, but it's too little too late, as JJ and Turtle will hang out here on the top side, fire off the barrage to push the wave in, and continue pressuring up.
Better performances across the board from all FlyQuest players here.
Whoa.
And they're going in.
Oh, they want someday here, but they won't be able to take him all the way down. They do hurt him enough to make him back up and keep applying pressure in this top side as Afreeca and Anda move up into the bottom side of the jungle of FlyQuest, trying to steal away that blue buff. They give it over to Cody and will push up towards the bottom side T2.
It's my favorite part of the Cho'Gath game where he doesn't have Warmogs yet, so the damage
You can actually hurt him.
He has to go back. It forces him back, and then the rest of FlyQuest actually return and reset. And so we'll see as they catch this wave, but then I'm watching Flame because he's not going directly to the top lane just yet. He's looking for potentially a jump on somebody here, or even just more farm. Oh boy, don't look, Flowers. He's taking his jungler.
Oh no, that's... Oh, that never feels good for the jungler, but Flame will walk up, throw a control ward down in that brush that 100 Thieves were just investigating themselves. Keen's off to the side here, senses that something might be a little funny. Doesn't want to walk anywhere near these guys.
The
from
red
100
too?
Thieves. Flame is taking the red too. Picks that one up for himself on the Camille. Has the Vamp Scepter in inventory, working towards that Ravenous Hydra. As you can see, FlyQuest moving into the enemy jungle.
Yeah, and they're sticking to the game plan. Again, they said it was so important. You have to keep split pushing here. Wild Turtle is actually the bottom one, though. And they have the very weird lane allocation where they've continued Flame jungling. He actually did the Wolf Camp as well,
Baron,
while the rest of the team are trading there. Baron has been started up already by 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves have Cho'Gath still.
It's okay. Teleport comes in from Wild Turtle, and they do have Sand United available.
They're trying to group up FlyQuest.
They don't have Santorin anywhere near this. He's still got to hoof it all the way up into the hit to make this fight. They throw out the Sejuani ultimate. JJ looking to go in, starting this fight up. 100 Thieves going to lose their support right at the very start of the fight. It's FlyQuest collapsing and looking to find the damage. Flame's going to be taken down by Someday. Double kill over to the side of the Rise as Keen grabs himself those. Turtle over the wall, still looking to find Cody's son. One more auto attack seals his fate as Anda's having to run himself away, but he too will fall. It's the ace for FlyQuest.
They got the Baron, but nobody survives, and FlyQuest clean up and punish 100 Thieves. This is a complete 180 from the way the series was going. FlyQuest now have a mid-game advantage, and they were able to smack them down in that area, the Baron pit, where constantly FlyQuest were being beaten by 100 Thieves.
Adaptation is a hell of a drug, boys, and FlyQuest are making some amazing things happen this game.
Yes, they are, and they're going to get a lot of rewards for that play. In addition to all 5 kills, cleaning off the Baron buffs from the enemy team, they also get a turn afterwards in pushing with these double Mountain Drakes. And here's another look at that play.
All right, Ace of Predator replay shows off how 100 Thieves tried to go for the Baron.
Yeah, Keen gets the cleanse off, and then it was the taunt flash to get onto Ryu. Ryu ends up getting ultied there, and then even though they have nobody who can really steal the Baron, they're able to clean this fight up. It looked like Flame was the focus, but Wild Turtle actually did a decent amount of damage in that fight that went a bit overlooked, as well as Keen.
Yeah, that was 100 Thieves putting a lot of cooldowns into Baron, but also at the beginning of that replay, I want to highlight Keen's play on Rise. He put Afreeca in Rune Prison after he just popped the Rakan ultimate and was going in to try and CC the rest of the team. But he got nothing done with it because of the Rune Prison, killed off there at the beginning, and allowed FlyQuest to very easily clean up the rest of those kills. And we can actually wipe that Baron buff timer off the screen.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There were no Baron buffs that survived longer than 10 seconds after that fight.
And that was a call from 100 Thieves where they saw FlyQuest on the bottom side of the map. They got that turret, they got that tier 2 for the tier 1 top, and then it's just FlyQuest being able to rotate. The TP from Wild Turtle coming up big there, and then JJ also being able to rotate. So the split push and the split map pressure from FlyQuest, because we usually think of the 1-3-1 where it's, oh, you have a Rise in the side lane, you have the Camille in the side lane. Ezreal's the one that has TP, and you have a Shen that can go elsewhere, so they actually have full access to almost all the map. The only person that doesn't have something that can rotate them quickly is Santorin.
Someday getting himself jumped on by Flame on the top side here, but Anda's able to come in for reinforcements. Beast comes down, Anda goes in, trying to find the damage as Ryu's gonna grab the kill onto Flame, and now they'll look to pick up yet another one onto Santorin, who's taken very low, knocked up into the air with the Rupture. Afromoo gets himself away from Wild Turtle, but that's still gonna be 2 for 0 Thieves.
And now FlyQuest still have a pushing mid lane there, so Minion's gonna crash down bottom, or mid as well as bottom, with Keen pushing up. Good kills for 100 Thieves though, to try and bite off one of the pushing lanes here from FlyQuest, and they put a stop to the pressure for the time being.
Yeah, and that's the ulties down there. That was Flame going too aggressive. He used his hook shot aggressively, and that's when Anda shows up. As soon as you commit your mobility spell to go aggressively, you're not going to have that thing defensively, so he was waiting and saw the opportunity.
While FlyQuest do have the advantage spread out, trying to play the cross-map game here, 100 Thieves still, they have so many good 5v5 tools at their disposal. Yep. And again, Sejuani ultimate, if that lands and they can stick somebody in place, then they still can bring together that power to find some victories for themselves. And again, this was just out of Fog of War. Really good patience by Anda to be able to wait for Flame to go in like that. Lands the ultimate, and they're able to clean up the kill.
And that's that moment where as soon as Flame uses the E and the Sejuani comes out of Fog, that's the, damn. He was there. So Anda doing a great job there. The guy who's new to the 100 Thieves roster, who was brought on in the middle of the split, able to integrate in, and you can see the counter gank came up huge. As the team is now trying to force him to group around this Inferno.
Solo laners for FlyQuest are in the side lanes. It's a 3 versus 5 here. 100 Thieves do make the call. They go in, they grab the objective, and now they got to stop the punish from FlyQuest. Working on the tier 2 in the top side. Flame's already going to find that one. Bottom side, Keen pushing up past the rubble of the tier 2 as well.
Yeah, everyone always talks about Afreeca shot calling, Afreeca and leadership in game. I like that FlyQuest are putting it to the test, because one of the most difficult tests is when you are the slower moving team, the 5v5 group. If you are getting split pushed down, those decisions of which objective to go for, how quickly can you do it, when to abort mission, are so critical because you have very little time to work with. If you hesitate around that dragon, you hesitate around that baron, a couple of seconds and your turret is gone. That is even accentuated by the double mountain drakes that have been picked up by FlyQuest.
Yeah, the double mountain drakes, I'm glad you bring them up because it helps them so much to threaten objectives, whether it is the baron or whether it is those turrets. And as this game progresses, Afreeca shot calling, he's going to have kind of control of the 1-3-1, or at least what they do to counter it, because he's also on the recon. He is the hard engage that would help them get a team fight off on the right foot. Of course, there is now a QSS on the side of Wild Turtle, and he's one of the primary people that you would want to be able to catch, but he's now going to be very slippery.
And I want to look at the flip side of the coin, talking about how 100 Thieves have to make the right calls here. Remember, Zyrene, you described this as macro versus mastery. 100 Thieves know how to play the game, while FlyQuest won those comfortable picks back in game number 1. But FlyQuest will need to demonstrate some really solid macro here to pull off this splitting style of composition to make sure that they continue to find success with Flame in the side lanes.
Not a fan of split push there, Flowers. Don't like your taste. You're a man of the run it down mid 5v5.
Oh man, the ARAM style, 5 versus 5.
I can tell you firsthand, he definitely is.
Well, regardless, FlyQuest have a almost 6,000, yeah, just barely there, 6,000 some gold lead to work with in addition to the split push strategy. So they definitely have a lot at their disposal to try and execute, but they are at kind of the most dangerous situation in the game, right? It's cracking inside of the inhibitor turrets. That is always the big hurdle to get over in this late game. And 100 Thieves, their objective is very clear. They're farming for late, they're trying to play defense here, and they pick off anyone who overextends or over pushes in that attempt.
And right now the Baron's coming up, so as you're splitting the map, you want to get your recalls as soon as possible. But right now, they've been pushed up so much. 100 Thieves haven't been able to go past their tier 2s in a while, or at least the rubble of their tier 2s, so their vision has died out around the Baron. This is where you get Flame to push down bottom, threaten the inhibitor turrets, and you try to split up the 100 Thieves, who will have to make a snap engage happen if things are going to start on their turns.
And you can see that's what's happening on the map right now. Keen presses into the top side, Flame into the bottom side, while Turtle, JJ, and Santorin just hang on here in the middle. Turtle on this Ezreal needs to be very evasive. as Keen continues pushing up towards the tier 3, is going to be collapsed on by 100 Thieves if he stays any longer, so he has to back away.
When you're a 1-3-1 up against a team that can't actually answer everybody, there's going to be at least one unanswered person when you do a 1-3-1 and make it to those turrets. And right there, they just pull them out of the base, make them check the Baron, and you do that a few times and you don't get caught in the process, you'll be able to pressure and chip away at those turrets slowly. We already saw Keen almost got that one to half HP, whereas Flame is still playing it a little reserved because he doesn't have the wards on his side of the map. Everything's committed to Baron.
Look at this, though. They do have Ryze pretty far out, and Sejuani plus Rakan nearby.
And this is where you go.
Self shield.
They don't have
Afreeca tries to go for that charm, does manage to get
JJ.
it after being caught up in the rune prison. Santorin's off the side. JJ comes in with Stand United. FlyQuest does end up having to expend that Shen ulti, but they keep their mid laner alive.
Yeah, and actually 100 Thieves didn't have any damage nearby, so there wasn't a really big threat. Afro Moon now down pretty much everything that makes Tron useful.
Wild Turtle flashing away, keeping himself out of the range of the rupture there from Someday. Barely escapes.
And that gank that happened top onto Keen, Keen was the one who got ganked. The other two people who ganked him were the ones who used Flash. He still has his Flash. He still has his cleanse available to him. He used his active of the Seraph's Embrace, and he got a shield from JJ. And he's 100% fine to continue split pushing and threatening these objectives.
FlyQuest are hanging out in the Baron, but they're not going to start it up just yet. They're hoping 100 Thieves will come to check this. Vanda walks rather close, but won't go any closer. The blue trinket thrown into the pit tells 100 Thieves FlyQuest isn't on the objective, which means they're probably trying to set up some kind of a trap. Keen going to be chased down here by Ryu and Anda, who jumps over the wall, wants to pop the spell shield. You can't just go for the ulti alone. Keen still gets himself away.
Yeah, and he plays it calmly once again. Still has all of his summoners, so he does not have to panic. And this is the very tense and very exciting stage when you get to see the push and pull of these 1-3-1 compositions versus the 5-on-5, constantly trying to press in the minions, threaten the inhibitor turrets, and then pull back to Baron.
And there's so much gold that hasn't been spent yet for the side of FlyQuest. There's 2,000 on Keen, there's 2,100 on Wild Turtle, and Flame just got back to almost complete his Serix. He's very close. He only needs a bit more gold. He's at about 900. And so he's going to hit that 3 item spike. He also got 3 control wards as the split pushing top laner. Make sure that you know you aren't being collapsed on is the name of the game here for Flame.
My team won't give me vision, I'll do it myself.
He has to.
Making sure that he keeps himself safe in those situations. I absolutely agree with it. And you can see the items coming online on the side of 100 Thieves. Infinity Edge now for Cody. And it's third Mountain Drake of the game, gentlemen, that has now found itself in that bottom part of the river. If you get this as FlyQuest, that's just so much more power that you've got for this split push.
Yep, I feel like Flame could even solo it at this point with this split push. Push out another wave, see the Cho'Gath, catch this wave, and then go and try to solo that out and allow your team to keep pressure on the top.
Same situation.
Keen says, all right, we got Realm Warp. See you later, Anda. Gets himself out. Flame's just saying, all right, get out of the way, you big old Cho'Gath. I got to kick this turret once with my Trinity Force proc, and then get out of the way. It's a slow game to play, but it is one that will eventually take the turret.
Flame, there's a red buff on the table, there's a Mountain Drake on the table, and he's still looking to hang around this minion wave.
Meanwhile, FlyQuest deciding, all right, we've got attention on the bottom side, onto Flame. Blue Trinket will go down into the Baron pit. 100 Thieves know what's going on here. They're trying to collapse. Ryu is very low.
But Anda's almost
coming
there.
into this fight. JJ's looking to find the taunt. FlyQuest still going to be staying on Baron. Santorin down to about half HP. JJ going to be taken nearly down. Anda's so low, barely getting himself away from the fight. Into the Baron pit they still go. The shutdown over onto Keen. Santorin's looking to grab the Baron. He does do so, has to flash out over the wall. It is Baron for FlyQuest at the cost of their mid laner.
It's just one person, though, so it's not a huge deal. They'll have this. Oh, counter kill!
All right, mid laner from mid laner. Wild Turtle makes sure it's 1 for 1.
Wild Turtle, Arcane shifts right over and is able to get the kill back. Now it's FlyQuest pushing on inhibitor turrets with Baron buffs. This is the final tool that they need to finish out this game, push this series to another one.
Turtle shifting aggressively with Ezreal. You love to see it. Let's take another look at how the whole thing went down.
And it looks like they have a mixed call here. JJ goes in for the taunt. Then he gets charmed up, and a great combination there from 100 Thieves. But Ryu gets chunked out. He can't keep contributing damage as a mid-range mage. And then Santorin goes in to finish the job. gets the smite down, and the double Mountain Drakes is what allows them to get it so low so quickly and makes it so they can finish it. But right there, is that blind?
Nope, they had the Scuttle Crab.
They had the Scuttle Crab vision.
They saw him move right up there, so use the Blast Cone into Arcane Shift. Nice job there by Turtle. And it was because of Turtle that 100 Thieves did not press that further. When they got everyone low at the Baron pit, it was Turtle from the side with the flank that actually zoned them out. Now though, Flame
Getting himself caught right as Baron is available and the split push can really take form. It's great for Thieves. It's a heartbreaker for FlyQuest, but they'll continue pushing up here in the top side with JJ and Turtle getting value out of that Baron buff, trying to put a little bit of damage onto the turret if they can, but Ryu's doing a good job clearing those minions away.
Yep, can't get the cannon minion just yet though, as Turtle was protecting it, and still a lot of damage is done to the turret, down to 50%.
Yeah, but losing Flame is a huge deal. And hold on.
Santorin not going to get stunned up, but still takes a little bit of damage and slow there from Anda. 100 Thieves don't want to chase after this. They're happy just forcing FlyQuest out of their jungle.
But it still means that that Baron buff is almost going to waste because they're not cracking those inhibitor turrets. And when you have somebody die like that, they're off the field for like a third of the Baron buff. In order for them to run all the way across the map and clear minion waves, it's going to take them almost 45 seconds, another minute to get there. So you're using a lot of that time that you have, and it's taking away where you aren't actually pressuring the turrets and you're just resetting.
Also want to point out, Wild Turtle is full build at this point. This Ezreal will not get stronger. Compare that to Cody, who still has 2 more items to complete. So as time goes on, FlyQuest is going to feel weaker and weaker in those big engagements, and the win condition will become more difficult as the 100 Thieves hyper carries really hit that hyper point.
Yeah, 100 Thieves are still in delay mode right now. They're playing defense. They push out the minions on bottom side and try and move back to mid lane here in time for the FlyQuest push.
And here comes Someday after Santorin. They know he doesn't have flash.
Grabs the knockup with the Rupture. Santorin pops the Subjugate nice and early just to make sure they're not able to collapse and burst him through as Keen comes around from behind, nearly destroys Ryu instantly. Turtle now putting the damage into Someday, who uses the Gargoyle Stone Plate, keeping himself alive. Redemption comes through, Flames into the top part of the base. 100 Thieves have lost the fight, and they're also losing their base. Inhibitor turret goes down, Inhibitor under some pressure. Flame could try to go after something here, just wants to stick on the Inhibitor itself for now. Tier 3 in the mid lane, also going to be soaking some hits. FlyQuest continuing to apply the pressure to 2 different lanes.
Yeah, 100 Thieves lost so much in that. Afreeca uses this initiation on the Trundle. They get nothing out of it. Their carries get chunked, and FlyQuest keeping up the pressure. They just need to topple over the Inhibitor. One more push.
100 Thieves did get Ryu back into the base to heal up at the fountain. Trundle Pillar goes down into Cody's Sun, just trying to buy enough time for a couple more auto attacks onto that Inhibitor turret mid lane. Keen getting himself back along with Flame. True Shot Barrage fired off. Unfortunately, that does not do damage to turrets, so the turret still stands for now. One more auto attack will likely do it,
That
though.
would be busted.
That would be pretty busted. Remember back in the days when Heimerdinger Grenade used to hit turrets?
That was busted.
Oh, if you didn't live through that, you didn't live through League of Legends. As Someday will take some damage up here in the top side. Mystic Shot finds its way onto Cody's Sun. You can see FlyQuest with an 1,800 gold Baron play. Not the greatest in the world, but not the worst. Still maintaining themselves an 8,500 gold lead in this game overall. Afreeca able to go in, find the knockup onto Flame, who uses the stopwatch essentially just to buy enough time to make sure his team grabs the Inhibitor turret mid.
Yep, last hit on the Inhibitor does go down, and FlyQuest will get it, but they didn't get any Inhibitor, and 100 Thieves have bought themselves a decent death timer here on Flame, with which to try and get something onto the map.
Yeah, they'll be able to get control of that Elder Dragon, which will be up in a minute and 30. You want to keep that away from FlyQuest. An Elder Dragon with triple Mountain Drake would be insane.
Yeah, Elder Drake, 1 minute and 20 seconds away. Baron, 1 minute and 50 seconds away. There's always insanity available when there's both Uber buffs alive at the same time. The amount of decision-making that goes into it, the shot calling behind which do we go for? Do we trade them off? Do we try to fight for them? Where's the contest point at? That's one of the best things to see between 2 teams. As 100 Thieves will push down the mid lane, look to grab themselves a tier 2. Cody goes into victory, he's got him a Turtle! Sticks sticks around too long. He's going to be bursted down as Afromu finds some CC down to Santorin, who has to flash himself away, looking to stay alive. More CC going through. Stasis onto him, trying to get through this one. Going to be grounded up and bursted down. Cody Sun goes on a killing spree, and all of a sudden 100 Thieves are looking real good.
And Santorin's gonna be dead for 45 seconds. That's not gonna match the Elder Dragon. And they're probably gonna push here and get an inhibitor first when they were down so much gold.
What a swing! 100 Thieves take inhibitor for themselves. They're not backing either.
They're gonna try to, if they kill Keen, they win the game.
They're looking for the end right now. This could send FlyQuest completely out of the playoffs, completely out of Worlds. JJ's gonna be controlled. He's gonna be bursted down. Feast comes through, and they're gonna be kept alive on the back part of the fight as now Sunday's able to find some CC, find the lockdown. Flame taken very, very low. Does grab the kill into Anda. Can he get himself through this? Keen's taken out. Cody goes on a rampage. I can hardly believe it, but 100 Thieves may be able to win here.
Turtles back up on the field, on the Ezreal, and they chase them out of the base. When 100 Thieves, though, took a huge amount, and now, actually, they're still on the run. Flame's still catching them. He has hook shots.
He has to push them all the way back because there's an Elder Dragon, there's a Baron. If you stop their recalls, delay them long enough, you make it so they can't reset, but Cody's gonna slip away. Gonna get some completed items here. Now Cody is full build coming into this.
Teleport comes back out from him as well onto the field, and they're just gonna have to rotate over to Baron as FlyQuest started up.
FlyQuest, 3 Mountain Drakes. This Baron will evaporate, but Someday wants to come into the mix. Remember, the Feast means your smites don't matter. He will always have priority as long as he's close enough. That forces FlyQuest to get themselves back, and this team that has been in control for 35 minutes all of a sudden looks real shaky.
Be careful what you say, though. Just yesterday, we had a smite steal from a Cho'Gath. It can happen.
It can happen, but will it happen here? Keen, not a part of the fight just yet. He's not close enough to this to contribute. Afromu loses a third of his HP, but the charm goes in. They're looking to find the damage done to JJ. They've already got him. Afromu still looking to find even more. Santorin's in Stoneplate mode. Keen finally joins up in the fight. Redemption going to be called in to heal up 100 Thieves. FlyQuest back themselves away, but you can't just fully retreat in this situation. You're still in a 4 versus 5. They want to see if they can make anything happen here. Thieves heading right back to the Baron.
100 Thieves, though, they have double Warmogs on their front line.
No.
Anda and Someday back to full health.
And the minions are in the base. They're knocking down Nexus turrets. Thieves say this is where we make the call. Flame already had to go back. It's 3 versus 5 from FlyQuest. Afromu jumps forward, just looking to keep everyone else away. 100 Thieves secure the Baron.
That went down to literally 1 HP on the Baron. There's potential for a steal, but if you drop one person, the Baron isn't going to do anything for you when your Nexus is naked.
Don't calm down, guys. We still have an Elder Dragon on the
Stay
field.
hyphy.
Minions are still pushing on top lane for 100 Thieves. They took a turret by themselves, and JJ has to answer. Now 100 Thieves are on the Elder Dragon. It looks like FlyQuest won't even contest.
And this is that insane late game where, like you said at the beginning of this series, Kobe, you always have that feeling in the back of your mind that 100 Thieves are never out of the game.
And those cannons, those are online.
The cannons are fully operational, my friend. That is a full build Xayah with crit build ready to go. We'll be pumping out damage, and this is the replay we were looking for. Wild Turtle. Arcane shifts forward. Santorin comes in with the flank on Trundle, but they were not ready for what they got.
And you 100% have to give credit to Ryu there. The Arcane shift forward, the panic to try and flash out afterwards from Wild Turtle, but he's grounded by the Cassiopeia Miasma. He's not able to make it out, and he just gets dropped because he has to tank the autos there.
And to think that one single play could determine the outcome of this game, could determine whether or not FlyQuest's season ends here. Absolutely huge considering how far in control they seemingly were for the entirety of this game. And it's now 100 Thieves, Baroned up, Eldered up, marching down this middle lane towards an exposed Nexus.
Exactly. There are no defenses for FlyQuest, but the heroes themselves.
Keen tries to get himself back. Afromu's going in, looking to find the burst. They've already taken out the jungler. They're going to be taking down Flame next into the Guardian Angel. He goes, but it's already a double kill for Cody. JJ's going to evaporate. Flame will too, as will the hopes of FlyQuest. 100 Thieves will finish the fight here. They'll take the Nexus, and they'll go to Oakland.
The finalists from spring make the top 4, and they continue their march for revenge and a potential sweep back to take the finals. That is what 100 Thieves want, is redemption from last year.
They won the first 2 games in style. The third game looked rough for a long time, but as soon as a window opened, it's Ryu kicking the damn thing in, making sure they punish Turtle, and setting the Thieves up for the comeback.
100 Thieves always calm on stage, the late game poise, serving them well. One mistake in the late game, again, they're able to take the entire series off of that. And even though Bjergsen said after TSM won that there's no way Team Liquid will choose them, they're too scared. If you look at this 100 Thieves 3-0 here today of FlyQuest, you got to second guess yourself.
Oh, I would sit there and go, well, FlyQuest were able to get early leads against them. Maybe I would pick 100 Thieves because it was pretty rocky in the early game almost every time for them, where FlyQuest were able to get large advantages early, and it was also Cody-san has to play for the later parts in the game. That's not what Double Lift plays for.
Either way, 100 Thieves, this organization that, like you mentioned, brand new to the franchise era of the North American LCS. Spring comes in, they say, hey, what's up? They get number 2 overall. Summer comes in, hey, this is just as fun as spring. Now they're going to that finals venue yet again. This organization is seriously impressive.
Hey, what's up? Now I just got this image of Nate Shot popping out.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Second place.
Second place, looking to go even further with that this time around. And honestly, this squad, back to the shot calling, what you were talking about, having to play so well against the macro game to survive in the 1-3-1 to scale up, and that's what they did.
And 100 Thieves, it's been a story of growing pains for them the entire year, because they first came in, it's this new roster of a lot of veterans who have to kind of learn to mesh different shot calling and like different styles getting together. Now, after that spring, they seem very much so on the same page, but then they had that swap up of the meta and Meteos having to go, or wanting to go to another team, and now they have Anda, and they're still trying to make him work 100% with the team. And this game, this series showed that he's a very smart player. He's got the adaptations down for even the Sejuani and the Trundle matchups, the way that he was basically alongside Afremu, making the engages happen, the constant Sejuani ultimates to force fights and force summoner spells is something that was great to see.
And even if you know what 100 Thieves are going to put up and what they're going to throw at you, knowing is only half the battle. That's
still
true.
got to beat it.
The second half of the battle is winning the game, actually, because you can get as many early game leads as you want. And even in some of the games, they were unable to get those leads. And 100 Thieves, always in the late game, a single mistake in one team fight, they grab the kill, they get multiple objectives off of it. It's just so difficult. And as we get into more and more high pressure games, further and further into the playoffs, those types of high-pressure situations are going to be prevalent.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of people looking at that Wild Turtle 1 play, but it wasn't just that one. Flame got caught multiple times, right? The only reason that that side of the map is what 100 Thieves are on is because of earlier picks and misuse of a 1-3-1 between the composition.
Which goes back to what you were talking about, the Thieves knowing how to play as a team, knowing how to make the calls.
Very good at punishment.
And address the macro. But to hear more about the 3-0, let's send it down to Avli for an interview with the victorious mid laner.
Thanks, guys. Stealing the series. Ryu, congratulations on that win. After such a rough start in that last game, how are you guys able to come back?
그냥 쭉 하면 이길 거라 생각해서 저희 상대 팀이 원스리온을 그렇게 잘하는 팀이 아니라고 생각해서 그냥 마지막 경기 힘들었는데 그냥 이길 거라고 생각했어요.
So we thought that we were going to win if we just played it through, played the game through. We didn't think our opponents were going to win the series, so we just, pushed through.
You didn't think your opponents were going to win. What brought out that confidence today?
그냥 딱히 뭐 어디서 자신감이 온 건 아니고 그냥 상대 팀보다 저희가 다 개인적으로 다 잘한다고 생각해서 무조건 이긴다고 생각하고 왔어요 오늘.
So the confidence didn't really come from anywhere in particular, but we just thought, personally, each of us individually, we're just better than the other team.
And speaking to your play specifically, you had some crazy moments in Game 1 and Game 2 as Rise and some clutch moments on Cassiopeia in that Game 3. But besides your play, what really brought 100 Thieves together as a team today and made them come out on top?
저 일단 팀적으로 많이 게임을 하려고 하고 저희 장점은 뭐 팀적으로 잘한다는 거, 그리고 뭐 다 멘탈도 좋고 뭐 그런 것 같아요.
So as a team, I feel like we really play for the team. I think that's where our advantages are. We play really well together and we pull through. And our atmosphere is also really good.
And in game 2, we saw, I thought you were going to pick up a pentakill on Rise, but Anda had something else to say about that. And you also had some really intense team fights. So in those moments, what are those moments like for you?
일단 엄청 그런 순간이 오면 엄청 막 재밌고 흥분되고 그래요. 막 그 한타를 이기면 뭐 그냥 재밌고 흥분되고 그래요.
So in those intense moments, I have a lot of fun with them. They're very exciting for me, and especially when we win a team fight, I just feel really good.
Oh, those are great feelings. But I mean, we haven't caught up with you all split yet. So how has summer split been for you? And what has it really done for you and your growth?
이번 서머 시즌 좀 엄청 힘들었는데 그래도 이번에는 꼭 다시 결승 가고 우승도 하고 싶고 이번 롤드컵도 다시 가고 싶어요.
So summer split has been really hard for us, but we are really excited to go to finals. We're going to try to win and hopefully go to Worlds as well.
And in order to get to finals, I just got word that Team Liquid has selected to choose you guys in the semifinals next week. So what do you think about them choosing you? Are they underestimating you?
일단 리퀴드가 저희 선택할 거로 생각했고 뭐 이번에 많이 졌지만 스프링부터 이번에는 좀 이길 자신감 좀 있는 것 같아요. 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
So we anticipated that Team Liquid were going to choose us from the beginning, but we're gonna try our best and try to push through.
Ryu, Joanne, thank you and congratulations again. And for more in the game, let's hear from the State Farm analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. She'll be back with another interview, this time with Someday. But a huge congratulations to 100 Thieves as they mount the 3-0 against a valiant effort from FlyQuest here in this third game. But the largest comeback of Summer Split just happened. 9.4K gold deficit at one point, and they claw it back. Very akin to the tiebreaker that they had against FlyQuest, or the comeback that FlyQuest themselves had earlier in this split.
Don't get a goal lead in this matchup. It's a trap.
The Jet stat comes back. I love when things all come back together. Yeah. But hey, for this 100 Thieves squad, I do think that this third game was a great way of cementing their quarterfinals victory in the sense that the second game felt almost handed over, and we were even coming away from it unconvinced really on either side of the coin, saying, hey, 100 Thieves is doing what they need to do, but they're not being challenged that hard. Here they were challenged, and they really had to step up to it.
I liked a lot of what FlyQuest did. These are kind of the adaptations we were all calling for, where it's like get counter pick, take the Rise away, these kinds of things, get a global for JJ. And you saw how good that is for them. The fact that they did get a 9K gold lead that like kind of also solidifies for FlyQuest that they're a legitimately great team. And I think the way that they did that was really interesting. You had a lot of good points about Camille versus Cho'Gath in particular.
Yeah, I think like the Camille and the Cho'Gath is really good with the Shen and Trundle because he can't really get away. I think, they banned away the Ornn because he has escapes, he has that engage. Cho'Gath doesn't really have an engage, he's just a big, beefy person to catch out. And so I really like that they made adaptations in the draft. I think it just came a little too late. And I think they're really close to bringing it back, but if they had done this in game 2, maybe they would have been like more mentally together, they would have made less mistakes to close it out.
Yeah, I think that I was expecting game 4 for pretty much the last 20 minutes, but Flame died 3 times in the side lane where he shouldn't, and the death by Turtle, where he shifted in to go for a kill while his IL was up, was a backbreaker.
Turtle was looking so good, and then he just does that one shift in. He just goes too far one time, and then everything just
falls to pieces.
Yeah,
it was clear, though, that FlyQuest had made a strategic change, or at least indexed into one strategy fully. Hey, let's split the map to 1-3-1. Someday, one of the guys who had to deal with that pressure all game long, Avli is standing by with him now, so let's go for a word.
Thanks, guys. Someday, congratulations on that win. In game 3, it looked like you were getting pretty heavily camped. How do you deal with situations like that?
우리가 연습했을 때 TSM도 그 조합을 엄청 많이 했거든요. 그래서 좀 많이 당하긴 했는데 그래서 우리가 더 잘 대처했으면 더 좋았을 텐데 좀 저도 그렇고 좀 플레이를 단단하게 하지 못해서 좀 아쉬워요.
So we kind of had similar situation when we played against TSM, and it was pretty hard for us to deal with it. And I think if I, played a little bit of a tighter game, it would have gone better. So I feel a little bit unhappy about that.
I mean, you say that, but you are still pulling off all of these crazy plays and still putting in some work and carrying on tanks, on traditional tanks. So, I mean, when you come into these games, do you just assume that role of carry?
보통은 캐리한다고 생각은 보통은 안 하고요. 탱커를 하기 때문에 사실 전략이 다른 게 있잖아요. 근데 그 캐리할 수 있는 상황이 오면 저는 할 수 있는 선수라고 생각해요, 제가.
So I don't naturally assume the role of carry. I don't go into a game thinking I'm going to carry this game. But if the situation arises where, yes, I can carry this game, then I will go. And when I play tank champions, also like the strategy is different. But if the situation arises, then yes, I try.
And speaking to more of your play, earlier this split, you said that you wanted to win that MVP award. And you took the top lane spot in the first All-Pro team for the NALCS. So, I mean, the votes are in. We won't know until finals. But do you think your play this split warrants the MVP award?
그렇다고 해야죠. 잘했다고 생각해요.
Yes, I do believe so. I think I played really well this split.
All right, well, I like the confidence there, but you're also going to need confidence going into next week's match. Team Liquid has chosen 100 Thieves to face in the semifinals, so what are your thoughts going up against them in essentially what was last split's rematch?
사실 리퀴드랑 상대 전적이 너무 안 좋아가지고 리퀴드가 뽑을 거 알고 있었고요. 그리고 보기에는 약간 우리가 토끼 같고 상대방은 약간 호랑이 같은 그런 모습이 있는데 좀 그런 모습을 없애고 우리도 이제 싸울 수 있다 그런 모습을 보여주고 싶어요.
So we've traditionally haven't had great matches against Liquid, so we did think they were going to pick us. And we kind of feel like 100 Thieves, we're the rabbits, and Team Liquid are the tigers. But we kind of want to show them, we can fight back, and we'll try.
That's the best analogy I have ever heard on this stage. But someday, congratulations, and thank you both again. Back to the desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. I love that. The Rabbit versus Tiger semifinal.
Who's
going to win?
If you're going for a winning mindset, you might want to change your analogy.
I don't think I'd want to go into a matchup thinking I'm a rabbit against a tiger.
I
think I just want to run. I'm just going to run as fast as I can if that's happening.
That said, again, we will preview that matchup in just a bit, both of our semifinals. Before we do, I want to put a capper on this series and this Game 3 once again, because 100 Thieves was tested in a different way this time around, having to deal with both the gold deficit, but also that full 1-3-1 split pressure.
And this is when that kind of starts getting to them. There was a play that happened on the top side right before this Dragon attempt where 100 Thieves were trying to answer the top side play with their own Drake, but of course they collapse in time on the side of FlyQuest, and so they get kills in the bot lane as well as in grabbing the Dragon, which when you start getting up Mountain Dragons to a 1-3-1 comp, that's really scary because it adds so much extra objective pressure.
Yeah, I think FlyQuest are doing a pretty good job this game, but then there was just mistakes they made, like giving over, like going 3 bot side when Baron is up at 20 minutes. Even though they aced them here, I feel like they were just off a little bit on their macro or like their understanding of what they needed to do when they're getting these late game situations. When they have 3 lanes of pressure, I think it's really easy to close out a game without fighting. Like kind of seeing like how Dokla played, with Optic when he finally got the pressure. That's kind of what I'd like to see more from Flame this game, but you just see him time and time again getting caught out. They're team fighting instead of split pushing, and so it's kind of confusing how they got to that point when they had such big advantages.
Yeah, like Flame TPing in there is just no good because you can just keep that Baron buff your team's going to get anyway.
Exactly.
Punish them for contesting that and taking an inhib, and then that kind of led to this sequence right here.
Yeah, and there are probably about 5 moments where FlyQuest doesn't do this same thing, they lose, but this is obviously the most visceral of it. And then after that, still not being able to retreat, right? I think 100 Thieves actually, after they picked Turtle, played the rest of the situation fairly well. Remember, they were down 9,000 gold when this whole thing started, but they continue on, they get the Nexus opened up, they actually back up, sweep out Baron, take Elder, and then walk into the open Nexus. So they did play from that position very well once they had shut down FlyQuest's 1-3-1, but as you guys have said, this is a game where FlyQuest was in the driver's seat for the majority.
Oof, that gold graph.
Woohoo!
Barely get 998 and you're winning the game.
Man.
That's a big gold lead.
Once it gets later in the game too, I think like with competitive League of Legends at the highest level, it really does become a game of mistakes. Like what person is the first person to make a mistake, and often it gets capitalized on. Turtle Eing in, Flame teleporting when he doesn't need to and getting an inhib. A lot of things like that will cost the game for your team, and I think that's what happens a lot in these high-stake games is we're all humans at the highest level. We're going to make a mistake. Be ready to capitalize on it.
And often, you know, those important scale with the game time. If you get caught out as Flame, or as Someday, excuse me, in laning phase once or twice, it's like, okay, now this Camille's big, but I have the rest of the game to try and recover that mistake. Flame gets caught out in a side lane. That's your side lane pressure gun that you've been building for 40 minutes.
Right, and that was kind of the trend throughout the whole series, right? Game 1, some early mistakes from 100 Thieves, but they clean it up as the game time scales. Similar thing here in Game 3. And earning yourself a 3-0 in playoffs is no small feat, and while it does take a team to pull that off, one pro in particular stepped up to compete, or rather complete, the sweep, and that's why we're awarding Ryu Player of the Series.
Yep, we were talking about this being one of the surprising mismatches in the series. We thought we'd have the advantage over Keem, but I don't think we were quite expecting this great of a performance. 2 great Rise games, especially the second one, having by far the highest DPM in the game. Really hard carrying the team, almost getting a pentakill that gets stolen away by his team.
Yeah, I mean, part of this is we didn't expect him to even get Rise because it's been one of his best champions. He gets it twice, and we can't hold that against him. He's still absolutely smashed on it. And even though he had a lot of struggles early on the Cassiopeia, was taken low many times, only died twice in that game, still had some clutch plays down the stretch.
Yeah, without a doubt, a top performance out of Ryu this time around. To prep ourselves for the semifinal weekend, though, let's take a look at the bracket presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Team Liquid have selected 100 Thieves for their match on Sunday, September 1st, meaning Cloud9 versus TSM kicks off our semifinal weekend on Saturday. Let's take a moment to talk about both of these series, and let's start with Team Liquid 100 Thieves since we just saw 100 Thieves play.
I mean, I think Bjergsen was onto something when he said that Doublelift isn't going to choose him, and you see it here. That shows 100 Thieves, so...
And 100 Thieves saying that this they did expect.
Yeah, and in just thinking about the matchup, the fact that Team Liquid 3-0'd 100 Thieves in the final of Spring Split, the fact that they've 2-0'd them this split compared to 1-1 against TSM, and the fact that 100 Thieves isn't very good at attacking Team Liquid where they are weak. We've seen a lot of teams maybe just camp Pobelter, and they get an advantage that way. It's not something 100 Thieves is very good at, so I think Team Liquid is actually intelligent in this, but the cool side effect is with the way championship points are working, the winner of that series will be going to Worlds.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That is it's a crazy amount of pressure on a semifinal, right? And so while all of what you said was true in the sense of, you know, the logic behind why Team Liquid would pick 100 Thieves, it does come down to the day, the best of 5 adaptation as we, you know, saw here. FlyQuest maybe being more willing to make adaptations earlier in the series could have completely changed the course of it. So for 100 Thieves and Team Liquid, 2 teams that have a little bit more of that 80 carry centric, full-on team fighting, you know, style, you know, how power picks will be traded is going to be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about 100 Thieves' supposedly better flexibility that we were expecting to see in this series, and that's something they'll probably have over Team Liquid as well. Team Liquid are like a machine at the one way that they win, and they always make that work, but if you can disrupt that game plan, it doesn't feel like they have too many, like, impact carry style or play through mid lane. It is very bot lane focused for them.
What about the difference between a Someday Flame matchup and Someday Impact matchup?
So I think the reason Team Liquid chose this matchup makes a lot of sense because they play very similarly, but I think Doublelift is just a better AD carry than Cody Sun, and they both play like team fight, late game style. And for the Someday Impact matchup, you didn't really see like carry top lanes that much or Someday like hard playing to just snowball top lane. So I think the same thing is going to happen with TL and 100 Thieves. They're just going to play tanks top, and it's going to come down to mid to late game team fighting. And they don't have to worry about Bjergsen versus Pobelter in the mid lane, right, if they chose TSM. So I think it's just a really good matchup for Team Liquid because it's like, hey, we both play late game team fight comps, but we have Doublelift and you have Cody Sun.
Team Liquid 100 Thieves on Sunday, C9 on Saturday.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun one. C9 TSM. How do we feel about the way this is going to break out? Because we were coming down to the end of the split talking about the fact that C9 by some might even be considered to be a stronger team on the back half of the split than Team Liquid.
I think this is a great matchup for C9 in a lot of ways. Like, Licorice has been doing great in the top lane. You have their bot lane, which is mostly just playing to go even, and that's what TSM's bot lane does as well. And then your mid and jungle have been popping off. So I don't know where TSM has the advantages, and then the fact that their Echo Fox series was not particularly compelling. I'm looking at that, scratching my head about like what I want to see out of TSM to get their leads.
I'm personally really excited for this matchup more so than the TL matchup because I honestly don't know who could win for sure. Like, Cloud9's been looking a lot better, and TSM didn't look that great in their series. And also the Jensen versus Bjergsen matchup. Like,
That's what I'm looking at.
Who's going to win that? Like, Jensen's been looking insane like these last few weeks. Bjergsen popping off on Akali, popping off on Aurelia. Both these teams are playing a lot around their mid laners. Licorice has been a really solid player in the top matchup too against Hanser. I don't know how that one's going to go. So I think there's a lot of question marks going into that series. And I think it's going to come down to the mid lane at the climax of it.
The other interesting thing about that matchup, Jad, is the inexperience of the junglers on both squads in playoff situations. Of course, Blabberfish on one side and Grig on the other.
Ace in the hole, Sven Skaren, who used to be on TSM behind enemy territory. One thing that has me really excited about this matchup is during the split, we saw Cloud9 in last place and TSM struggling in 7th. Yet, these are two teams that have met each other in the finals more than any other two teams have met in the finals in any LCS history. So seeing them make their resurgence and knowing that only one can make it back into the finals is really cool to me. But I can't help but echo the thoughts by Mark and Darshan on the desk so far. I think C9 is a very big favorite because they crushed the second half of the season and TSM has still yet to really have that impressive set of games.
Two incredible best-of-5s await us on the other end of this week. Now that you know the 4 teams heading off to Oakland, pick up your tickets for finals weekend so you can see whether Team Liquid, TSM, Cloud9, or 100 Thieves can claim the title of Summer Split champion. Darshan, thank you so much for joining us here today for a quick 3-0 series and being correct about your prediction in terms of who would win. That's going to do it from us here on the desk. It's time to toss it over Afreeca, Azale, and Ole for NALCS Tonight.
Thank you very much, Dash. I am Freak. This is Ole from Team Liquid, and of course, Azale on the far end. I want to shout out, by the way, Mark was the most right. He said 3-0, so shouts out to Mark, the best analyst in the desk there. Yeah, Mark's excited. I want to give him that one. I think he deserved it. So talk to me, sort of, you've been watching sort of at home and, of course, here as well. Anything stand out to you this weekend about the results?
I think I thought that, like, one day is going to win today. And yesterday, I was kind of cheering for Echo Fox.
Cheering for Echo Fox?
Yeah, because Josh was my ex-teammate.
Okay.
So, but like TSM just beat them somehow. So I feel like it was like my thought.
Yeah, and then you guys chose 100 Thieves. Even though you're like rooting for Echo Fox and you're going to give TSM the easier opponent, you're not going to knock them down just yet. Maybe meet them in finals.
I think Shinang.
You think
Shinang can be?
It's kind of interesting. You know, we were listening to the guys and their thoughts on all the finals and the quarterfinals and semifinals and everything. And you're sitting here listening. How accurate did you think what they were saying was? Like, did you kind of agree with their assessment of how you guys play and your matchup against 100 Thieves?
I think the mid matchup, you know, people nowadays just talking about our mid, you know. But like Eugene nowadays play really well. You know, he practiced a lot and focusing on our communication. So I think even when he play against like Jensen or Bjergsen one day, I think he will show up, like he will play much better.
Yeah, so you got the faith. You got the faith in Pobelter.
Yep.
It's not just a mouth.
200 IQ.
200 IQ Pobelter. He's going to win the semi. Team Liquid's going to win 2 straight NALCS titles. They're going to go to Worlds. They're going to make at least top 4 there. With that, let's review some of the most talked about moments from this weekend's playoffs in our quarterfinal edition of LCS Big Plays. Excuse me. Brought to you by Acer Predator. First up, Sven starts game 1 off with a bang SLXM dunk, shouting out his pentakill.
They're going in. I push. I'm good. I'm good. Kill Joe. We win. I'm gonna ult here. Go on, Poppy. Go on, Tom. I'm on Rise. Rise. Draven. Nice. Yeah. Don't hit. Oh, they're so tilted right now.
Would you steal that pentakill if you were Hanser? If you're that Nard, you steal it?
No, I would just give it.
No,
maybe last year I could just get it, but this year I changed. So
you changed your reformed. You're a reformed supporter now.
I'm reformed.
Okay.
I did like that he was like starting us out.
Yeah, exactly.
That was enjoyable.
Anytime I play with my friends, it's like 100% the goal to always steal it. You're never allowed to give each other the pentakill.
I think yesterday, the Irelia pentakill, just gave them for free.
Yeah, he did. He walked out of the well.
He
was very kind.
He was a very nice person.
He's
of
a
course,
nice
guy. I agree, yeah. Well, next up, Daniel Stoll calls out Dardox 1v2 on Kindred as one of the best plays of the season.
Okay, they're spiking up. Touch here? I can't help.
Oh, I got him. Nice. Nice.
Smurf. But he's got no reinforcement. Donik has to fight his way out of there as Amante does actually come back down. And Donik, he does it!
You are kidding me. That is one of the best jungle plays we have seen all year long.
That was insane.
He's a pretty good player.
Yeah, that was actually insane. The sad part is it was followed up by him flashing after the Bjergsen clone, and then they lost. But still, he had some pretty sick plays.
But we showed the good one, so it's fine. You mentioned the Bjergsen pentakill, and lo and behold, next Jade shares her excitement at the impressive performance from Bjergsen and TSM in Game 4.
Ash. On this. Yeah. Ash. They're all dying. Tunnel. Look at right. Go. Nice. I'm a faker. It's actually crazy. That's yo. Oh, it's actually my penta. That me? Oh.
I like how he's just max speed running out into them.
You know what I enjoyed? Bjergsen actually got the notes right and like the actual like notes and everything right of the song because it's da-na-na, da-na, like it's only two, it's 2 8th notes. And some people go like, just keep going 3 in a row. Yeah. Like Mark, they're all idiots. So I appreciate that Bjergsen knows the actual song. That was my sticking point on that one. Either way, a new guest in NELCS tonight means that it's a new name to add to the Scion Speedway leaderboard. Golden Glue still smashing faces. Wow. Powelzer, number 12. I feel like holding Team Liquid down a little bit. Oh, you're better than that, right?
I guess, yeah. I practiced a bit, so I can beat him.
Yeah, you're pretty confident? You gonna beat Golden Glue?
I think he's just untouchable.
Golden Glue's too good? He's OP?
He's so OP. I tried like so many times, but I couldn't even get like 45. So
okay. Well, head on up there.
Good luck. Good luck.
I do want to point out, by the way, that even though Mark Z is a superior analyst with the 3-0 prediction, he is no longer on the leaderboard anymore. It's only room for 20, and he was too slow.
Yeah, see, I take offense to that. I think we need to have him added no matter where he is.
Number 27, Mark Z.
Exactly. You just go, you go 18.
All right, unpause when you're ready, and it's starting right away when you finish unpause.
Oh, just start.
Yeah, and you're going right away.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good luck.
All right, let's go, dude. All right,
Much
low path.
Zion, he's practiced. It's looking pretty good so far.
All right,
that was pretty much perfect.
Good.
Let's go, dude. You can do it. You can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
A little bit late turning down.
Okay, he's gonna pop Predator. This is Knuckles.
Let's go.
Still has flash and stuff, so yeah. He's got to get through the target dummies, and then it'll be interesting to see how he actually handles the top. Some people will save their actives and just kind of run through the top.
Oh, he hit a dummy though.
Oh no.
It's gonna slow him down a bit. All right. Flash. I don't know if you really cut the wall there, but it's probably okay.
Let's go, dude.
All right.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it.
Pretty good if the end is clean.
Yeah, you can do it.
Oh, it's actually looking really good.
You can do it.
Yeah, that's a fairly clean run. It's not. Yeah, that's better than Pope. It's not
Golden Glue, but that was really good.
That's a top 10.
That was
top
good.
10?
I'm pretty sure it's top 10.
Oh my.
You beat some of the EU guys.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Please.
We'll get the official time, but I think it was respectable. It was good.
Yeah.
You did well.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can hold your head up high.
Hit one dummy.
You didn't Biofrost it up.
Oh, Biofrost's run was so
Was
bad.
it terrible?
Yeah.
He's in like 19.
Like 50 times.
Yeah, like he barely beat me and I hit 4 walls. It's shameful.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty impressive. How much Sign have you practiced?
I think 30 games. Wait, where I am?
Number 7.
Number 7. Wow.
Just under Turtle. But better than Odoamne. You beat some of the EU guys.
You knocked me out of the top 10.
Okay, EU guys.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Am I support first? I only care about that.
First support?
Yeah, I'm
Golden,
first as a support.
Yeah, you're first support.
Dash, Turtle. Yeah, you're the first support.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Above
Smoothie.
Yeah, and I don't even see where freaking Bio is or anything.
Do you ever play Silent Support? Hey, did you ever try it? I know people were playing it a little bit at the start of the season.
I tried like 4 games.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
so
okay. Yeah, not for you.
Yeah, Impact is just play. Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Now, as a pro player on the #1 team over here, we know Ole is no stranger to the roller coaster of comments from fans online. We want to see how in tune you are with the community. We took some of the players from the weekend and took some of the Reddit comments as well. So what I want to do is look at some plays and have you focus one of the players and what do you think
what
people
Reddit
said?
thought about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So our first clip here, focus on Dardoch.
Focus on Dardoch.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see what happens. Have the Mountain Dragon. They still have Feast on Huni, and they're trying to blow this game wide open.
Looking good here, but now Greg, he's stolen a lot this split. Mithy also around the side, maybe gonna try something here. Greg, he's gonna go. You're kidding me! And discernibly, it's time for an Ace of Predator replay, boys.
Yeah, here it is one more time. Smoothie with the great engage. Flash, headbutt, pull, right onto Bjergsen. He is gone. That was very nice from Echo Fox. And then Huni, he can make this flash knowing that there is no flash available on Haunter. They chase him down. It's 5v3. Great. Echo Fox should get a free Baron, but then from here, you have to remember, there's no smite on Kindred. It actually looked like he used it on the Scuttle. So that was a bit of a poor decision there from Dardox. And it's up to the Feast. Down to 68 when Greg flashes in and smites it.
Yeah, so thoughts on Dardox and Huni in that play?
What did Reddit think?
I think no one really protect Baron.
No one protected the Baron?
I think no one can blame Josh this time.
But he used the smite on the cannon.
Yeah, that's right. But the thing is that they had Cho'Gath, right?
Yeah.
And they have Alistar, Ryze, Draven. They could all stop Trundle.
Yeah.
But like they didn't stop it. So like if someone flamed Josh,
so the
I will fire for
jungler,
him.
the jungler did everything perfect.
Yeah, he blamed support, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, they have Alistar. It should never happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep putting ward like out of the pit, and then I'm gonna just ready for W.
All right,
Like,
what did Reddit say?
I have the comment. It says, huge misplay by Huni, but Dardox turned off his brain and smote 100% dead Hanser right as they were about to turn to Baron. Turned off his brain.
Turned off his brain.
Ole is offended.
I mean, like, I think Josh has right to blame teammates this time.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I mean, like,
Josh has the right to blame his
He
teammates.
gets a free pass to be toxic on
like, I mean, like, I mean, maybe people
blame
think,
Huni.
I mean, I feel like people think like Josh is toxic, you know. But the thing is, like, this time he has right to say something to their teammates. Why Alistar didn't do anything? You know, why Draven didn't use any skill? Why Ryze didn't walk around?
Why Cho'Gath didn't get
Why Cho'Gath didn't get ult? Wow.
Well, Smoothie's garbage. You heard it here first. That's what Ole thinks. Now, next up,
And
this
Huni
play.
too. And he too.
On that note, let's watch Bjergsen.
Here comes Damonte, but Haunter going to zone him out of the way as Dardox will escape. Huni looking to save it all. Mithy takes down Dardox, but Huni able to grab this man. And now Damonte over the wall. Ulti then from Mithy follows through. What a play by the Pike. Damonte did to Haunter.
Bjergsen still has ultimate. If he can get in there, he can actually shove them into a position where it'd be very unfavorable.
Now they're on the Mithy, lost again. Burst the ulti, takes down Mithy. And now Bjergsen under threat, forced to swoop away. Goes in again, Baron to Echo Fox, but can they get out safely? They pop the launch despite the move forward. Bjergsen, they caught him. They tagged him with Brawl Passive, and now spent. He's dead as well. TSM got to get creative. Keep it Smoothie again, going to go pull back around. Whilst though moving forward, Dardox jumps straight to the team. And Damonte, he found the drop. Bjergsen's dead.
Anything stick out to you about Bjergsen in those fights?
Yeah, but I don't know what to say.
What would Reddit say? Think of the most possible toxic thing you could say, and you're probably pretty close.
I mean,
get inside the mind of a Redditor.
Of a Silver 3 NA solo queue player. High elo, by the way.
I never write anything on Reddit, so I don't know what to say.
But you like Twitch chat. Twitch chat is...
Yeah, what would Twitch chat say?
You know, what would Twitch chat say?
Twitch chat is more kind.
What Twitch chat is kind?
Twitch
chat is more kind than Reddit.
You know, when
Twitch chat is like the subtitle.
Wait, when I say, hey guys, you know, we're progress something, they say like, oh, Ole progress, and I just like, oh, Twitch chat, yay. You know? They're nice to me. So
Twitch chat are the nice guys.
Yeah, Reddit guys, I don't know. Sometimes they're mean. Someone was protecting me, you know, 1v5 against like Reddit people, and I was like, oh, sorry guy, I'll play better.
Okay. Well, the Reddit comment was that Bjergsen was saving his ult for the gauntlet. All those fights, no Azir ultimates.
Oh, wow.
In every one of those fights, never an ult.
So like, Peter saving Flash for
like,
I love that we didn't have to say it, that you brought it up. Do you ever ask Peter if he's still saving his Flash?
Nowadays he used Flash well.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes he used
nowadays,
Flash for...
but in the past?
Oh, when he was not my team.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wow, that's how...
You taught him well. I appreciate it.
But now he's super good.
He's super good.
Now he's the best in NA once again. Not a problem. Finally, let's take a look at one last clip. This one, we're talking about Cody's son.
They come to me.
Go, wing look. Kite up, front line. Show nothing. Watch alley. Cho's dead. If he comes with me, I'm fine. Cho's here. He's us. I exhausted him.
Keep front. Cho. Fast dead. Left side. Come left side.
Hey, Cody, you can jump. I got the sensor. Kill Kaisa. I got you. Can we admit? I'm gonna TP.
How do you feel about him?
That's my Cody son.
Yeah?
That's your Cody son?
Yeah.
So it's got to be something nice then.
Something positive?
Yeah.
Has anyone done as little as Cody has done in games and gotten so much praise? Sit in the back line, 700 range, hits rapid fire, hands off the keyboard. Even I could have done that team fight.
I mean, he just outscaled Kaisa. I think
Maybe that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
It's a smart play.
If he just fight before some item show up, I think he gonna lose the game.
Yeah.
But like he was just chill.
Big
just
brain.
wait, you know, so
He's thinking
I think-
ahead.
So do as little as Cody's son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have like really scared, like outscare AD carry, just chill, same form, and then tell your team like, oh, hey, wait for me like 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna carry.
I liked in that last fight that Afro was like, Cody, you can rocket jump forward. He's like, please, actually, let's go chase these kills. And Cody's like, all right, fine, and walks forward with a Braum shield in front of him. So I don't know, I can see both sides of it. I mean, I agree, he liked Tristan Thomas, he scales super well, but I thought it was funny. Yeah. Either way, earlier in the day, we asked you to send us your questions on Twitter, and now we'll do our best to answer them. Up first, I'm gonna have a hard time. Megalodontus wonders if TSM's
Nailed
win.
it.
I'm so good. Over Fox means they are back, or do they still have a ways to go compared to Team Liquid and Cloud9 and 100 Thieves? Are TSM back? You didn't pick them. You're afraid.
I mean, like I was here. I didn't know they pick or not.
No, you have no responsibility.
Yeah,
He washes your hands
yeah,
of it.
I have no any.
Don't blame him. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I didn't.
Would you have picked, if it was up to you, would you have picked TSM?
I'm gonna just like
Just random?
Pick one at
TSM
random,
and one
flip a
6M.
coin?
Oh,
Yeah.
TSM.
Do you think they're looking strong these days, though? I mean, they got knocked out in quarters in spring. They haven't looked as strong for a while. How do you think they compare to like you guys and C9 and some of the other teams that have been at the top?
I feel like they're doing really good. You know, their macro is really clean and Missy Shocker is really good. But I feel like sometimes when they don't find their win condition, I feel like they just don't know how to play.
Yeah.
So I feel like Peter, you know, when I play with Double Lift, you know, sometimes he said like, oh, they don't know how they don't know the win condition. Right?
Yeah.
So we can punish. So yeah, I just follow his word, and then, well, that's how we.
All I heard is Ole say TSM don't know how to play. I
know,
selectively chose some of the words.
Sometimes.
No, I know, I'm kidding.
The mind of a Redditor.
That is the title of this week's episode of NES Tonight. Ole, quotes, TSM don't know how to play. Next up, Travis Wheatley wants to know if you consider Cloud9 more of a #1 seed with their win streak and of beating you guys back in week 8. Are they more of a #1 seed?
No, they're not number one.
I mean, they're not
the
actually
number 2
#1,
seed.
but are they the better team?
I mean, they like Arbor didn't lose that game, you know. So
Yeah.
They just like brought like secret weapon and they bring Lee Sin and then only focusing on Eugene. But yeah, we figure out how to play against that type of play. So I feel like we are #1. You know, record is #1, so that's the fact.
Yeah, and they're spring split champions. I think it remains to be seen, right? If they meet in the finals, that'd be pretty hype. But both teams got to win their semis first.
Meet in third place match. It'll be perfect. Either way, finally, Tommy Miklos asks, do you think we will see the Misfortune counterpick to Varus in North America or Europe that we've seen in China and Korea? Secretly in Misfortune main, hoping to see it.
I think, not sure.
MF doesn't seem like a double lift champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because she cannot auto one person like 4 times, you know. That's weaker. So
He has to switch targets, requires APM.
maybe he can play.
Yeah, I mean it'd be interesting, right? You know, if people keep playing Varus this much, you know, maybe you could bring it out. It's like it seems pretty good in lane.
All right, well, we'll see if that comes out. I think MF's really good, but we'll see what happens with that one. Now, before we say goodbye, let's take one more look at next week's matchups. As we know, Team Liquid got to pick their opponent between TSM and 100 Thieves. They chose 100 Thieves. Other side of the bracket, Cloud9, of course, versus TSM. And yeah, 2 o'clock on Saturday, noon on Sunday. Just a week to go for those matchups. What are your predictions?
C9, 3-1.
3-1?
What about your match?
3-0.
3-0.
3-0? No hesitation.
No hesitation.
Easy peasy.
100 Thieves clean sweep into finals.
How many pentakills are you going to get?
Me?
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it to Peter.
You're going to give it to Peter.
But what if you're playing Pike, though? They get the gold anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think I can play.
Give it to Peter anyway.
What? He's leaking his own strats. What do you mean you can't play at Pike?
I mean, like, I can play Pike, but yeah, sometimes I have to just go to Braum, one trick.
Keep Peter alive. He's a little too reckless.
Yeah.
Maybe play some Ardent Sensor supports, a little bit shield.
Well, maybe I can play Pike, then maybe I can pop him off. So yeah, I hope that.
I do want to redirect one more time to talk about the matches that we did have this week, though, of course. We talked about them very briefly. I want to bring it back up. So nothing really surprised you in the matchups. Are you surprised by maybe like blue side, red side choices? Like we saw, for example, in this matchup, the teams didn't change sides at all, from what I remember.
TSM chose red side every time. Equifox chose blue side every time.
I feel like nowadays there's no really strong first pick. You know, like if you first pick Aatrox, you can still counter with like Bobby or Fiora, and but the thing is that Aatrox can go mid or jungle, but I don't feel like mid jungle are strong. So yeah, like I believe Popper side is kind of easy to like counter pick enemy. It's like the enemy first pick Akali, just counter like Ryze or something, and then pick strong support or AD. Like it goes like that. So I think Popper side is really good.
I feel like a lot of the must bans are gone now in 816 as well, right? Like there's a lot less champions that you have to ban on red side, so there's more flexibility too.
Yeah, I'm seeing more and more blue team banning Akali, so that red side doesn't like take Akali on 3 and then ban Ryze, so they have like a better matchup. So that kind of stuff is interesting as well. Red side finding some more of their matchups. So yeah, you're looking at you guys versus Cloud9 in the finals, based on your predictions, 3-1, 3-0. Are you winning the title again?
I have to.
You have to?
After MSI, I promised to my fans that I'm gonna do much better in summer. So.
And then you're gonna win the world championship.
Yep.
What if we win world championship?
Then all the flame goes away. They can never blame you again. You won worlds.
And you can play Pike as much as you want. Peter can never make you play Braum again.
We have the TL Ole Pike skin. It'll be perfect.
Wow, there we go.
I'm already telling you what's.
Yeah, the ultimate just shows the TL on the ground when you dunk him.
The horse like.
That's even better.
Everyone's like home guard speed boost, right? They're riding a Team Liquid horse.
Maybe you're riding a seahorse when you're in your W, you know?
That's
perfect.
cool.
That's perfect. Wow.
Our order to design the skin, it's gonna happen. Team Liquid.
And they won Worlds, baby.
They're gonna win Worlds. That's gonna do it for the quarterfinals weekend. Thank you again, Ole, for joining us. You were amazing. And now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week for the semi-finals.
Here we go. It is game number 1 in this potential 5-game series to decide who is going to be the last of the 4 teams that will get to go to Oakland. Time, keep these guys blind. Into the fight they go, and there's the seismic jump. Santorin gonna grab the kill onto Ryu. FlyQuest have found one. Hell of a counterattack. Trying to turn this one around. Turtle into the back, looking to find the damage onto Ryu. Gets himself away for now. Anda still gonna be looking to go after Turtle. Flames taking down a rampage for Cody's son. Not enough damage coming out of Turtle just yet. FlyQuest are routed.
Run it back. Run it back. Run it.
Talia. Kai'Sa dead.
Hali.
King Nation.
Natural. Hit it.
They're only.
They cannot win this game. Just clear.
He's still looking to muffle up. A triple for Ryu. Is that going to be the Quadra? A shutdown over onto Cody.
The last time I was in playoffs was 2017 spring. This year at playoffs, I want to perform a lot better.
As Keen grabs himself those, Turtle over the wall, still looking to find Cody's son. One more auto attack seals his fate as Anda's having to run himself away, but he too will fall. It's the ace for FlyQuest.
This is one more chance to be champion. So I wanna win.
Now someday's able to find some CC, find the lockdown. Flame taken very, very low. Does grab the kill to Anda. Can he get himself through this? Keen's taken out. Cody goes on a rampage. I can hardly believe it. To get himself back, Afreeca's going in, looking to find the burst. They've already taken out the jungler. They're going to be taken down. Flame next into the Guardian Angel. He goes, but it's already a double.